Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my review of the Black Clover Sword of the Wizard King, the movie, English dub review. So, this movie was done by Netflix, or the dub was done by Netflix, not Funimation Crunchyroll, because Netflix, I guess, paid for the movie there. So they got the license, so they have the rights to it, I guess. Really interesting to see what happens when Black Clover comes back, since the anime is licensed by Crunchyroll and Funimation. But this will not be on Funimation or Crunchyroll. So at that note on there. But because it was done by Netflix, it was not put in the movie theaters. It went straight to streaming, and that was a horrible mistake. This movie, 1000% should have been at my Regal. It should have been at North Park. It should have been at AMC. Freaking movie was phenomenal. Freaking fight scenes everywhere from start to finish. It was 90% fight the whole time. You'll never freaking stop being interested in this movie because there was stuff going on at all times. So much action everywhere. Everything was smooth. The graphics were good. Just spot on, ladies and gentlemen. Such a tragedy that this was not in the movie theaters. You know what I mean there? Absolutely should have been the movie theaters. Netflix should be ashamed of themselves for not allowing to be, at the very least, a limited theater release. Absolutely a tragedy. I would have paid money for this freaking movie to be in the theaters. I would have paid for a ticket. You know what I mean there? Looked very good. So, this movie, because it was Netflix, they had a lot. Surprisingly, they had a lot of the return cast come back for the recurring characters, but for the newer characters in this movie, they got some big guns in here. I mean, Steve Bloom was even in this, so Netflix put on all the stops for this movie. So the movie starts off. They're in a tournament there. You know what I mean? You got freaking you got and freaking in this, he's in this tournament thing or whatever to prove who's the best fighter, I guess, that they're going for, and Asta, who isn't there supposedly, but he actually is, because he signs up as the masked man person or whatever there. He's dressed up in a mask. They start the fight because it's versus Asta, and right away, obviously, knows the truth. He freaking does one slash, like, "Hi, Asta." Like, they knew right away it was Asta. But right off the bat, when he does that, that's when the stuff starts. But right before that, they do, I forgot to mention that they do the preview from 10 years ago, which is what leads to the events of this interference of this one-on-one fight. And 10 years ago, the current Wizard King stopped the old Wizard King, whose name is Conrad. A lot of simple names here. But Conrad basically got the big, powerful sword there. that has all the powers of the magic and whatnot, and he basically wanted to wipe out the whole Clover Kingdom there because he felt that he needed to create peace in his own vision. He felt that there was too many ungrateful royals there, and he needed to exterminate them and create it anew in his vision, and that was treasonous. So the current Wizard King sealed him away, took him out that way, and that's why they can't use that powerful sword anymore. And he's gone for 10 years, and in the 10 years, the current Wizard King is now the Wizard King. He takes over. They proclaim that the guy got ill and died that way or whatever, so there would be no panic. However, this is 10 years later, and you got Asta and fighting it out to prove who's better than one another for Wizard King. And then you got this guy, Conrad, interfering with the epic showdown between the and Asta. So they attack, but he brings people with him. Ladies and gentlemen. So he brings other past Wizard Kings with him there. Brings past Wizard Kings with them. You got Edward, who's voiced by Steve Bloom, by the way, there. You got Jester, another former Wizard King. And then you got Pressy Funny Buns. That's a weird name there. But she, we'll get to her in a second. Later on. Actually, no, later on in this, we'll get to her. But, you know what I mean? They come in. They're all past Wizard Kings, but obviously Conrad is the last one before Julius, who's the current one there. There's all chaos in the ring. We were robbed of the wrestling fight match that we were going to have between Asta and there. But they quickly get to work. They all have to fight them off. They're getting attacked. The captains are getting destroyed there. The citizens got to get evacuated there. In the meantime, Asta's trying to beat them. He's trying to attack them, but it's not working. And Yami says he's got to stay with the Wizard King. So Asuka, Noelle, they and Finral have to go into the portal. They have to go to this research facility there, where they're researching stuff about this thing or whatever. And this is where Nero is. And so she explains what these who these people are that are attacking and want to destroy the Clover Kingdom, which would be done by dawn tomorrow, the next day. So they have to come up with the plan to get rid of them. And then, as they're trying to figure stuff out, then they are interrupted by Conrad, who attacks them. He brags about taking out Noelle's older brother, and how they're destroying everything in that where they currently are at outside. And Noelle shoots the water spell powers at her, magic at him. And he takes away her magic there because that's his ability. He can take away their magic. he also can see their feelings and whatnot, or whatever. Takes it away from them all, ladies and gentlemen. So then, after that, they are obviously blindsided. They have to get out of there. Because they're knocked out, obviously. Asta's all pissed off. He's knocked out. They get away. They're able to regroup. But obviously the whole town and citizens are being decimated. The magic's being taken away from them, so they can sacrifice the Clover Kingdom and turn it into what they want. Obviously, Asta has anti-magic, so Conrad is offering him, with the ability there, because he's like similar to him, that he doesn't give up or whatever. So because of this, he offers him that, and he's like no, and he wants Noel's magic back or whatever. They retreat to a island where the Golden Dawns are, or like a training facility where the Golden Dawns are, where everyone is just basically like been knocked out. Or to actually see Noelle, she's like, gets up. We see Mimosa, healing them and whatnot. Asuka inspires everybody that we got to keep going. We got to attack them. We gotta get everything back. Then you see the other captains who are back from a mission that weren't there for the attack. They're ready to go. And Vermilion, she's all ready to go. Everyone's ready to go. And so they gotta go for the attack. So then they go back after they plan what they're gonna do. Because Asuka, with his anti-magic, he can destroy any spell magic he wants, barriers and stuff like that. So he destroys the barriers where the Black Clover, vehicle/houses. So they use that to get there, to go to where they're at. And there's multiple fights going on. Got Vermilion doing stuff. You got Fergorion doing stuff. You got everyone like fighting everyone off. They're attacking. And, they're all individually fighting different former Wizard Kings. Asuka is fighting. Asta is fighting fighting Conrad. You got Mariolda Vermilia, she's going up against Pinesius Funny Bunny. Edwards is going up against Noelle. And Jester is going up against Yuno and Yami. And the fights, they go back and forth. They keep going on and off with the fights. And just so many great fight scenes, just so many good fights and so many different attacks, different cuts. It's just beautiful. Different fights going on. There's nothing that's boring about a point in this movie, because there's always action going on most of the time throughout this movie. Eventually, Julius does give the sword to Asuka Asuka. And so Asuka actually has magic for the first time ever because he has the magic of everybody in the Wizard King sword. And he has the wing with the dark devil wing that he has, and he's able to take out Conrad, and he basically saves everybody right then and there. Noelle Silva, she takes out Edwards and shows her kindness as a royal, and so he's convinced that she's that there is a chance, because that's why he didn't like it and went along with this. Now, Pierce Prisney, who went up against Mirlan Vermilia. She gave her she was always never touched in a fight, and so when Vermilia was beating the crap out of her and taking it to her, she was liking this, so now she went into hand-to-hand combat. And this is where the interesting thing goes on there, because she ends up being put into this armor, which pretty much is like Urza Scarlet's. This is definitely a ripoff right here. I mean, the whole armor was just basically Urza Scarlet's. I was saying, ripoff much? So that was kind of my only thing on that whole thing. Was that was a blatant ripoff right there. The red hair, all down exactly like Urza's. The fucking armor. I was like, what the fuck? That's probably the weakest point of the movie, because that was clearly a ripoff. So yeah, she defeats her though. Vermilia defeats her, and then you got Gisper, who does get then defeated by Yuno. And again, Asta saves the day with the sword. The sword goes away then after he defeats him, after he tried the final attack, because he tried to do his final spell where he just sacrifices himself to win, because his mission failed because he got the sword out of there to prevent them from carrying out their mission. So then after that, all the former Wizard Kings are starting to disappear, but you see them in the stars with colors and stuff like that, and they're trying to explain to Conrad what's going on, and that the world is going to be okay. And then they disappear, and the whole world is saved by Asuka and everybody else. And then they go to talking about the history of them, and what they were trying to do, or what happened to Conrad, why he went mad the way he did. That his family was destroyed by royals, and that's basically what led to him going mad. And after that, Asta is just kind of resting, and then he gets interrupted by, well, actually, no, Asuka basically says at the end that he's going to be the Wizard King, like he always does. And that's how that movie ends, but then they do the credits, then they do actual ending cutscene, and that's where we see Asuka and finally challenging one another, because obviously they still both want to be Wizard Kings. So it ends with them fighting it out, since they didn't get to fight at the beginning of the movie. So it ends with Asuka and basically slashing at their swords at one another, and that's how the movie ends. Very, very good, enjoyable movie. I enjoyed it. It was over 2 hours of a movie, but it is a very enjoyable movie. There is no train wreck of error. There's only a couple of scenes where they're not fighting, and that is just to kind of keep the plot moving along. But most of this is all fighting, on and off, very engaging. It keeps you on the edge of your seat because they have stuff going on everywhere in all different parts of the movie. There is fights going on, and so it was very enjoyable. Netflix robbed us of this being in the movie theaters. Hopefully, in a year from now, it will be in the movie theaters because this movie should be in the movie theaters. It should not be just some goddamn thing on a damn streaming service. It is such a train wreck that this movie was not in the movie theaters. Total fall up right here, in my opinion. But this does lead to me hoping that we are going to see more Black Clover coming soon, like the anime series coming back, because it's my understanding that this is canon to the manga, so this movie is canon. So I'm hoping that this is going to lead to more, of the anime coming in, because for a while there, Black Clover was going on every week, even for the dub, and then all of a sudden stopped about, a year now? Maybe two. I think it stopped in 2000, so maybe 2 years now. And we have not seen anything yet, so hopefully we'll get to see more of Black Clover coming up soon. But I highly recommend checking out this movie. Very, very well done, and I enjoyed it. And yeah. Comment, rate. If you like this video or my reviews, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for all the latest content. Also, in terms of a rating for this movie, I would probably give it an 8.5. Or no, I'm going to give this a 9. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 because this movie was very, very solid. It was a very, very solid. Okay, 8.5. We'll give it 8.5 out of 10. Can't make a decision on it. 8.5 out of 10. A lot of fighting going on. But I like this movie. I was very enjoyed by it. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. So there was a lot of fights going on, and that's what I like to see. And again, hopefully this leads to more of the anime series coming back soon. Comment, rate if you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for all the latest content. Thank you. And that's all, guys. I am the Asta Ultimate Goku moderator. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, the Asta Ultimate Goku, follow me on Twitch, the Asta Ultimate Goku, Instagram, the Asta Ultimate Goku, and also at my Discord link server, which we talk about anime dubs, live-action movies, live-action TV series, sports of wrestling and NFL football, cartoons, all that good stuff. So make sure to go to the Discord server. And now I'm out. Peace!